Python offers two different looping constructs, while loop and for loop. A while loop allows repetition based upon repeated testing of a Boolean condition. A for loop provides a convenient way of repetition from a defined iterables such as a list, tuple, dictionary, string, set, range, etc. An iterable is an object that can return its members one by one. That is, an iterable can be iterated over in a for loop. Here is the syntax of the Python for loop. For loop starts with the keyword for. Then we have to provide an iteration variable. Then comes another Python keyword in. Then we have to provide an iterable. Then we need to end the line with a colon. Then in new lines, after giving some indent, this is the indent. It indicates that the following codes are within this for loop. This indent indicates that this block of code is within this for loop. So after giving some indent, we have to write a block of code. And this block of code will be executed for each occurrence of an item of this iterable. This block of code will be executed. In this way, this block of code will be executed repeatedly. Now let's write a very simple program to demonstrate for loop in Python. Here is the code. For letter in Python, print letter. So our code is complete here. Now let's run the program mentally. So here is our string Python, Python, and this is our variable letter. So initially this variable points to this first character P. So the statement for letter in Python initially assigns a value P to the variable letter, and here the value of this variable letter is printed. So Python should print P here. Next, letter points to the next character, that is Y. So now letter points to Y. So this print statement will print Y. In this way, letter will point to T, H, O, N, and at last it will print N. So I am not showing all these things. So the last character that will be printed is N. So the letter reached the last character of the string. So there is no more character. So the loop will terminate here. And in this way, this loop will print all the characters of the string Python. We have saved the program as for_loop1.py. Now we will run the program in our terminal. To run the program, we have to type Python for loop1.py and press enter. And here goes the output. As you can see, this loop has printed the character P, Y, T, H, O, and at last the character N. So this is the output of this for loop, as we have already discussed. Here is the modified version of our previous program. Here we have added another extra line, this statement, print Python is cool. So during the entire iteration process, the two statements will be executed inside this loop. So this loop will print all the individual characters of this string Python, and after printing each character it will also print Python is cool. So without wasting time, let's run the program. We have saved the script as a file for_loop2.py. So we have to type Python for loop2.py. So here is the output. It initially prints the character P, then this message Python is cool, then it prints the next character Y, then this statement Python is cool. In this way, two statements are being executed in each iteration and show the output. Now let's check this program. As you can see, this is a slightly modified version of our previous programs. Here the loop is the same. We have just changed the print statement here. In our earlier examples, the print statement printed the characters P, Y, T, H, O, N in new lines. Here we will not print the individual characters, rather we will print the ASCII value of each character. So we have used a library function ord. Ord actually returns the ASCII value of the letter that is passed as parameter to the ord function. And here also we have used the end parameter inside the print function. We have set end is equal to comma. That means the values will be printed in a single line. Let's check the output here in the terminal. Python for loop3.py and press enter. So we can see the output 80, 121, 116, 104, 111, 110. That means the ASCII value of P is 80, the ASCII value of Y is 121, and so on. So this loop prints the ASCII value of each character of the string Python. Now let's try something different. In this example, instead of a string, we have used a list. This is a list of fruits, and the fruits are orange, papaya, apple. So this loop accesses the individual fruit names using this for loop, and this print statement prints the name of the fruit in addition to this extra string. So let's run the program and check the output. Python for loop4.py. So you can see it prints I like orange. That means initially fruit points to orange, so this statement prints I like orange. Then in the next iteration, fruit points to papaya, so this print statement prints I like papaya. Then fruit variable accesses this fruit apple, so this statement prints I like apple. So the output is okay. Now Let's modify our previous program slightly. In our previous example, we used the fruit names directly here, but in this program we have used a variable to store this list of fruit names. Other things are the same. So just let's run the program and check the output. Python for loop 5.py, and you see the same result. I like orange, I like papaya, I like apple. It means that when we have a large number of items, then we have to use variables and store the list or tuple or dictionary in a variable. Then we'll use this variable of type list, tuple, dictionary, or any other iterable, and we'll process the iterables here in this fashion to achieve the same objective. So our output is as per our code. Here is another example. Here we are using a list of numbers, both positive and negative numbers. So this is a list of numbers, and in this loop we are accessing these individual numbers and checking whether these are greater than 0 or not, and we will print only the numbers that are greater than 0. In this way we will filter out the negative numbers and we will display only the positive numbers. So this if statements, if n greater than 0, n initially points to 2, so n greater than 0 is true, so it prints the value of n, so the value 2 is printed. In the next iteration, n is -5 and n greater than 0, that is -5 greater than 0 is false, so -5 is not printed here. So in the next iteration, n is 6, so 6 is greater than 0 and it is printed. In this way only the values that are greater than 0 or positive numbers are printed. Now let's run the program in our terminal and check the result. Python for loop 6.py, and the result is okay. It prints only 2, 6, 7, 4 and 9, and these negative numbers -5, -2 etc. are filtered out. Now let's try our hand with something meaningful. Here we have used a variable marks to store a tuple, and this is actually numbers obtained by someone in various subjects. So in 5 subjects someone has obtained 98, 95, 94, 97 and 88. Now we want to find out the total marks obtained by this candidate. So we have used another variable total, and initially total is 0, and now we are writing a for loop to access these marks one by one and adding these marks to the variable total. So at the end of the loop, total will hold the total of these values, and this print is outside this for loop. So this print statement prints total marks equal to total, that is the total obtained inside this loop. So the program will add the marks and show that total. So let's run the program in our terminal by typing Python for loop 7.py, and the result is total marks 472. You can check it by adding these numbers in your calculator or in your rough copy, and it will be 472. So the answer is okay. Here is another example. Here we are storing a tuple in a variable numbers. So the numbers 5, 2, 3 on are actually elements of a tuple numbers, and we are writing a for loop here for num in numbers. That means num will access these values one by one, and inside the body of the loop we have a conditional statement if num mod 2 is equal to 0. That means if the remainder of division of the number by 2 is 0, that is, if we divide the number by 2 and get a remainder 0, that means it's an even number, else it's an odd number. So inside the loop it will check the numbers whether this is even or odd, and accordingly it will print either the number is even or number is odd. So just try to run the program from the terminal and check the result. Python for loop 8.py and see the result. 5 is odd, 2 is even, 3 is odd, 1 is odd. That means the loop is accessing the values from the tuple, and inside the loop it checks whether this is an even number or odd number, and accordingly it shows the appropriate message. So our program is okay. Now let's check this program. In this program we have used one variable word to store a string computer, and in another variable vowels we have stored a tuple of vowels a, e, I, o, u, and this count is a variable that will store the total number of vowels in this string. So here is our loop for letter in word. That means this variable letter will access individual characters from this string, and inside the loop we have this conditional statement if letter dot lower in vowels. Here we have used a library function lower. It actually converts uppercase letter to lowercase letter. We have used this to convert each character from this string to lowercase so that the character matches with this set of vowels, because we have no capital vowel here. Okay, so if this is a vowel, increase the counter by 1. So the counter counts the number of vowels, and this statement prints the count as well as the corresponding letter, and this print is outside the loop, and it prints the final statement, number of vowels and the total number of vowels that was found in this string. So let's run the program and check the output. Python for loop 9.py. So see the result. It prints 1O, 2U, 3E, and number of vowels 3. That means only O, U, and E are vowels. So the output is okay.